unfortunately did not collect any that would reflect the long and important Indigenous history of this region. So looking forward, we'd just like to know that we appreciate the land on which we gather and that we have a commitment to make amends for the harm we have done to their communities. And with that in mind,
hello, my name is Colleen Kenyon. Apparently, the last time I did opening remarks for a show in 2019 was Say It, I forgot to say who I was. So I've already done better this time. I am the creative lead on Say It on Stage, which is the program that we've used to put together this show for you this evening, Stories Found. It's very important for you to know that the success has already happened here, because this is about process more than it's about a production or a product. When I first conceived Say It on Stage, I had a deep belief, which has proven to be true, that working on a creative project together would build a sort of creative energy, imagination, sense of purpose, and would erase age differences. And this has certainly proven to be true in our project so far. This is our 4th project. We did a stage show in 2019, bam, COVID came. Then we did a radio play that is available on podcast. We tried a film project that is still sitting in pieces, but maybe one day it will come together. And now this 2nd stage show for you to enjoy. I hope that the people who are here tonight who have contributed stories that are going to be depicted will take a special joy in having their life experiences shared with other people in a very unique way. So a final reminder, please make sure your phones are turned off and enjoy the show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you the distinguished lecturer and renowned historian, Dr. Rupert Fry.
Thank you. It is thrilling to see so many of you here tonight, ready to delve into the history of this once quiet town. Now, I thought long and hard about how to convey the fascinating details surrounding this town's history. At first, I thought maps. See here? What is now known as Cambro Road once started off as an indigenous trail that connected with Talbot Road to the west and Lundy's Lane to the east, giving us insight into the lives of the First Nations people. This map, dated 1884, shows how the land was later divided into lots and settled by families such as Haste, Beamer, and Rowland, whose names soon became part of the landscape. This map, dated 1984, shows the town of Pelham as we know it today, including the communities of Fonthill, Ridgeville, Effingham, North Pelham, Fenwick, and a small part of St. John's. But that's enough about maps. You can study those in your own time. Now, it also occurs to me that the heart of history is stories. Stories told between friends and family at formal gatherings and occasions, and stories represented through objects sitting on shelves waiting to be discovered. Objects in a small shop like this one.
Well, I wonder what kind of donations I've gotten now. back in the box for now.
Oh, Nora, I feel as though we've just opened the door to a grand adventure.
Yeah? Just open the door and shut.
You know what I mean. We've stepped out of our routines, taken to the road, arrived at a new town, and here we are. A whole new world.
We are less than 100 kilometers away from Harrisburg.
But it just feels so exotic.
Oh, good day, ladies. Welcome to Remember When. Is there anything in particular I can help you find?
No, we were just passing through and thought we would stop in and see what treasures there are to be found.
Miss Holmes, listen.
What have you found?
Come on.
Why, I think it's a jewelry box.
Well, that doesn't look like any jewelry box I've ever seen.
No, it can't be. I think it's made from a howitzer shell.
A howitzer who?
A howitzer shell. You know, those big field guns with wheels. They kind of look like cannons.
There must be a fascinating story behind this.
I'm not sure which is harder, thinking about where I'm going or thinking about what I'm leaving behind. Write to me again. We'll get this done, and then we'll be back with you.
You better be.
Our story is only got begun.
When Archer listed on November 23rd, 1915, he was 25 years old. After moving to Toronto, Suffolk, England, he married Margaret Daisy White. He already served in the British military for 3 years now. I was heading out to serve in the Canadian Expeditionary Force. Regimental number 36.
I followed the mission, hoping always for an announcement that the fighting is finally ceased, and that you will soon be home again, here, where you belong.
Darling Margaret, as hard as it is to believe, I survived the nightmare of the Battle of Somme. Almost 5 months, and yet so many lives lost or changed by wounds that will never heal. But from what I have carried away from this battlefield, I intend to make something beautiful. Not as beautiful as you, of course, but beautiful nonetheless.
Arch, while you do your duty by fighting, I will do mine on the home front, and I'll keep our spirits afloat. Here's how I imagine our life together. You'll take off your soldier's uniform and become a civilian again, and I'll be at your side for many years to come, with you playing the Joker, as you are wont to do. Your dark hair will turn to snowy white. Mine too, I suppose. And perhaps we'll work for a great Canadian enterprise, like the Eatons of Canada. The catalog has such wonderful furniture, and with your background as a machinist, maybe you can work in that department and bring home wonderful pieces for our home.
Margaret, you know I've always loved making things. And sure, it's not easy to come by the right materials here. But I'd say I've crafted something unique out of what I have at my disposal. I hope you don't find it too strange. Let me describe it to you. I've taken a howitzer shell and fashioned it into a jewel box. Inside is a removable shell. On top it is stamped with the year 1914, and it has various other markings from its first life as ammunition. But in its reincarnation, as a gift to you, my beloved, I've engraved it with my initials. The inscription reads, "To my wife, 1916, de la Somme." On the two sides, I've engraved images. One is of a mounted soldier in uniform, and the other is a maple leaf with a crown inside it and the word Canada. On top of it simply says Jewel Box. Perhaps I should have kept it a surprise the day I can place it in your hand and place a kiss on your lips. But it brings me joy to tell you about it.
That jewel box came home with Arch.
Grandpa. Why? It's a big deal. I mean, it is today. In my day, you just learn to drive and you drove. Today, it's G1, G2, G3, G2 infinity. Today, it's a big deal, which is why I brought you here. To find something to mark the occasion. Something kind of maybe to hang from your rear view mirror.
Actually, Grandpa, they say we shouldn't do that.
Oh, even better. This is perfect. Do you know what car this hood emblem came from?
Is that from an Austin?
You bet, son. It reminds me of the beauty that I learned to drive on. Austin Cambridge A55. Wow, that brings back memories. People say today it was a classic. As far as I'm concerned, it was a classic in my day. I bet lots of people have one or two cars with that memory.
That little Honda was the last car that I owned. I had it for 10 years, and it was still in immaculate condition. I was so glad to give it to my great-grandson when I was past the point of driving any longer. Unfortunately, it only lasted another 4 weeks after that. There was nothing particularly special about it, I suppose, but it is still the car that I think back on most fondly.
A PT Cruiser was my last car. I gave it to my granddaughter. She loves it. But when I was younger, I had a VW Beetle. One day when I was driving from Dunville to Welland, a big truck came behind me on a windy 2-lane road. He couldn't pass, and then suddenly I heard him yell out his window to me on his radio. "Move over, little VW." I adored that car.
My father told me I couldn't learn to drive until after my mother did. But eventually, I took driver's ed from Mr. Slater, an industrial arts teacher at my high school. One time during a lesson, I was turning left from Prince Charles onto Main Street in Welland, and I hit a car driven by another student learning to drive. I even had to go to court about it. It took me a while to get over that. It was quite a while before I could force myself to turn left again.
I learned to drive on a 1956 Dodge. Big wings on the side, beige. A bus driver taught me how to drive. I remember after our first lesson, he looked me in the eye and said, "You failed." But then he laughed and he said, "No, you pass." The first car I owned myself was a Nash. I remember I paid $900 for it and had it painted black and white so I'd be noticed. I remember I had to put a block in front of it when I parked on a hill to keep it from rolling down. Later on, I sold it for $1,000 to help pay for my brother's wedding. I was sorry to see it go, but I knew I had to chip in. There were 10 children in our family, and he was my little brother, after all.
You two seem to know a lot about cars.
It is an enthusiasm that we share. First, there was that die-cast car.
And then, I gotta have over 100 Matchbox cars.
And then, there were the models that we made.
And then the real thing. We work on them together now.
Nice to see. A grandfather and a grandson enjoying a hobby like that together. For me, the memory's not so much what happens under the hood, but what happens in the back seat.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's not encourage any hanky-panky.
Hey, that's not what I'm talking about. Don't worry about that. I'm talking about family road trips. With everyone cramped in the back seat, everyone's so incredibly anxious to get where they're going. But with moments of actually enjoying the trip to get there. Tell me, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
Just one sister.
Nice. In my family, there were 5 of us. There was my older sister, then the twins, and then the baby of the bed, who always got the front seat of the fence. Let me tell you, there was never a moment in our Ford station wagon where everyone was both quiet and happy at the same time. Now this reminds me of those family road trips.
Oh my god, move over, Mom! Charlie's bugging me!
I'm hungry!
Mom, can you not sit on your lap?
Yeah, usually the feast would only last about a millisecond after we left the driveway. And the air of quiet calmness that was once there quickly gave way to whining and complaining. Once we're down the road a bit, there would be periods when everyone would join together in playing games or singing songs. 99 bottles of beer in the wall, 99 bottles of beer. Take one down, pass it around. 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer on the wall, 98 bottles of beer. You take one down, pass it around. 97 bottles of beer on the wall, 97 bottles of beer on the wall.
Can we play another game now? Oh, look at that's fine.
I want to take it.
No, I want to play 20 questions. Mommy, I need to pee.
As soon as one of us needed to go to the bathroom, everything went to hell in a handbasket. Bob would try to classify as a snack, but that would usually only last about, not very long.
Who wants apple slices or lightsabers?
Oh, me, I do.
No, I'm starving. Mommy, I need to go pee now. How about we play another game? There was a farmer who had a dog and
Bingo was his name. B-I-N-G-O, B-I.
There's a service station. Can we stop? Can we?
And at that point, there was no getting back. Everyone would get out of the car, have a chance to stretch their legs, something to eat, and a chance to go to the bathroom. And then, refreshed, everyone would file back into the car, and we'd wait to see how many miles remained to be traveled. Let me tell you, there was a constant refrain.
We there yet?
How much further? I don't feel too well. Look, who just floated?
It's too hot in here.
I can squish.
Eventually, we'd get to our destination. Sometimes a campsite. Sometimes our grandparents' house. Sometimes a faraway destination like Montreal. One time, we even went to New York City. One thing was for sure and certain. The return trip, it wouldn't be exactly the same as it was. But if you ask any of us nowadays, we'll all say that we're happy with the memories we have of those family road trips.
What do you think, my son? You think you're missing out on something?
Maybe just a little bit, but I do kind of enjoy just throwing on my headphones and listening to some music or podcast to pass the time. And Haley and I get along pretty well. I don't think we've ever really fought like that before.
I wonder if your mother and father would say the same thing. I would have to see about that.
That man's story reminds me of memories of my own. I was the 7th of 8 children, born in a different time.
First 6 kids in our family didn't have the opportunity to go to high school. There was no transportation and we lived outside of town. I was the fortunate one. There was a bus to Pelham District High School.
I went there as a student, and I returned there as a teacher.
I started my career as an elementary school teacher, but they needed a coach and a phys ed teacher at the high school. So off to Toronto I went, took some courses, and it was the best thing I ever did. Those kids became the best students I ever taught. Now this wouldn't happen
In today's society, but I remember one time when I had 8 kids in my Volkswagen bus. 2 football players in the front and 6
volleyball players in the back. That was the last time those girls took a back seat in my sports program.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope you don't think I was ignoring you. I was just trying to get a little bit of inventory done.
No, not at all. I walk by your shop often, but I've just
never happened to come in.
I like to think of this as a little shop and maybe a little museum.
Yes.
I see what you mean. I noticed. You have a pennant from Pelham District High School. I was just reminiscing about my time there.
And when you look at that, Discus, that reminds me of a very special student, one who I became very close to and who I'm so proud to have taught. I met her
during my first year of teaching at the high school. She was in my homeroom class.
Jean Davis, Janet Davis, Wendy Tunnicliffe, Moran Hemmingson, Jane Haste, After school today, we will have our first track and field training of the season. I hope to see some of you out there. There's the bell. Off you all go to your first period.
Miss Flagg, I'd really like to try track and field. I'm not much of a runner, but I think I might be better at some of the other events.
Jane, that's wonderful. I'll see you out there once we're let out for the day. Why don't you give this shot a try? That was a really great throw. However, you do need to learn the technique. And now, what about discus? Just for comparison. Again, technique is needed, but you seem like a natural. I don't think I've ever seen a first attempt go that far.
Yes.
I taught some exceptional students and athletes.
I coached so many gifted athletes. You know, between 1974 and 1978, Jane Haste competed, stood on the podium at the Commonwealth Games, the Pan American
Games, and won numerous intercollegiate awards for discus at the university level in the United States. She competed for the University of Tennessee. In 1976, Jane also competed in the Montreal Olympics.
What incredible accomplishments they were.
Absolutely they were. And thank you for your time.
For letting me reminisce. And for your trouble, I would like a little something.
Let me purchase that silver tea can behind you.
You know, that's what I love about this shop. It's all the interesting people that come in and the items they bring in with the memories behind them.
She was absolutely an incredible woman. You know, she died just this year. Her record for discus,
set in 1977 at the university level, still stands. She was loved and admired by many in this community.
I didn't get your name.
very much.
Vanessa. Vanessa Winthrop.
Thank you, Vanessa.
You're very welcome.
Martha. Martha Black.
Oh, you're welcome, Martha.
Thank you so much. I hope to see you again.
Of course. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, I'll be right there. Oh, hello. How can I help you kids today?
My mom was wondering if you have a Magyar Sukkavon.
I'm sorry, I don't understand what you're saying.
No, Patty, it's Magyar. I don't know.
Actually, it's Magyar Kachkunva. It's a Hungarian cookbook.
Exactly. Mom was trying to make a dish that she learned from her mother, but she couldn't find a recipe book anywhere.
She's super upset about it too. It was full of Nudgy Mama's personal recipes, with handwritten notes exactly how to prepare everything.
Mom says it's a long shot, but she brought some stuff over to your shop a couple weeks ago and sent us to come and look in case the cookbook was mixed in with some of the other stuff she was donating.
She says because she almost always uses online recipes now, she thought she could clear some space by getting rid of a few cookbooks, but she never meant to get rid of that one.
Oh my. Well, I hope we'll be able to find it. You know, I get so many boxes of books in, and I may not have paid attention while I was unloading that one. But I have a lot of books, and for a little small shop like mine, so feel free to go through them.
I can't believe it. Sam, look.
It's...
Actually, Nudgy Mama's. See here? This is her handwriting.
I wish I knew how to read this, but sadly I can't.
What is your mother trying to cook?
Keithley?
Let me help. Here it is right here. And you can tell by the blotches on the page that this is a well-loved recipe.
Mom says when she was a girl, she learned how to make it, but she hasn't made it in ages, and hers were never as good as the one Nudgy Mama made.
Yes, there's usually a secret ingredient that it takes years and years of practice and many, many batches to perfect.
Remember, the dough needs to be very thin.
Like this?
No. Slowly. Gently. Yo, that's it. And now, we cut the pastry. Slow and precise. Each piece needs to be the same size.
Do we need a measuring tape?
No. Look how I do it. Then you cut exactly the same length and width.
Okay, wait. How many of these are we making exactly?
2 dozen? Don't worry, the filling is already made. We'll be done in no more than an hour. Maybe 2.
Oy, oy, oy.
Once you've mastered these, I can teach you how to make many dobush tort for the many weddings and bridal showers at the Hungarian Hall in Wellings.
I love to eat the varieties of sweets that Mom makes.
But I really hope she doesn't make us stay through the entire process to see how she makes them.
Well, you know, she had to learn from her mother, and I'm sure it'd be really special if she was able to teach both of you how to do this.
I suppose you're right.
Thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you for that. Okay, thank you. Turn down.
Madam, I inquire, where did you get these blocks?
Oh, isn't it a lovely set? Hardwood, you know. Hardly a mark on them. A nice young man brought them in about a week or so ago.
Young? What do you mean by young?
Oh, maybe about 40 or so?
He had no right bringing you these blocks. These are my blocks.
You seem a little bit too old to be playing with them now.
That's not what I mean. Of course, I played with them when I was young. But my son, you see, he's been clearing out my apartment, helping me to move, and in an overzealous stage of purging, he made the rash decision to bring you these blocks. I know he'll be regretting it already.
Well, you know, they are an unusual set of blocks. Antiques, you know. But I'm sure there must be other ones somewhere.
Here it is. Here's the proof. My son and his friend wrote their names on this block. You can see it right there with a marker.
Well, that clearly identifies them as yours.
The wagon used to have wheels on it. These blocks were new in 1936. They were manufactured by the Milton Bradley Company. When I was a boy, I loved to play all day long, building things. My mother used to say that it was a great privilege to have such a beautiful set of blocks.
This time, I'm gonna make a castle. It's gonna have fortress walls, 2 tall towers, and a drawbridge.
Henry Lloyd, dinner's almost ready. Please tidy up your toys and wash your hands.
I'm gonna start with the wall.
Henry Lloyd, did you hear me? Please put those blocks away. And remember to put them away properly. If one of them goes missing, the next time we go to get them out, we won't have them again until it's found. Sets are meant to be kept together.
Yes, Mother.
You know, it sounds like your mother would get along with me very well. She likes everything in its place. And I do too, as you can see from my shop.
It's evident. You have a lovely little shop. However, I hope you'll allow me to remove my blocks from them. You see, my grandson is to be married soon, and I have decided to give the young couple the blocks as a wedding present so their future children can play with them.
Oh, it makes my heart feel good to think that they'll be passed down from generation to generation.
I have brought these blocks with me my whole life. From the beginning, when they were in the dining room, in our family home in Connecticut, to all the places I moved, to the United States and Canada. And believe me, there were lots of moves.
Well, you know, it makes me feel good to think this is going to be another generation of little hands playing with these again. You should have one.
Oh, I'll be happy to play. You seem a little angry at first, but I realize that you can't keep things indefinitely, and if my street quite well, they're not too useful to me, but I do feel very attached to them.
Well, it gives me great happiness to hear your story. Please take them. No payment required.
Wow. Look at this crocheting and this tatting.
I can't believe you can tell the difference.
Yeah, I knit a lot, and I do some crocheting too, but I haven't tried anything this intricate yet.
It seems like an odd hobby for a young person, but then I didn't think that you looked like someone who might be doing needlework.
I know. Lots of people in my life find it pretty strange that I knit, but I don't care what they think. I enjoy doing it.
It's so nice that people of your generation can break down the stereotypes. When we were young, we still have specific roles that we should follow. However, your grandmother's probably a little bit older than me.
How do you feel about my grandmother? Anyway, yeah, I think that's one of the reasons I got into community work. My nonna would tell me stories about what it was like for her growing up. Such strict ideas of what boys and girls could and couldn't do. And she also grew up in a large family, with a very traditional or authoritarian father. For her, compared to 4 sisters, I think there was a lot of time for responsibility and not a lot of time for fun.
Well, that doesn't seem very fair.
No, from the story she tells, it really wasn't.
Boys' clothes ready for church tomorrow?
Yes, Father.
And their shoes polished?
Yes, Father.
Very good.
Ow!
Julia, everything okay?
Yes, Father. Sorry, sir.
Good.
Excuse me, Father.
Yes, what is it?
I was wondering if it might be possible for me to take some lessons on the piano. Perhaps when Mr. James comes to teach Philip?
Now don't be ridiculous. Music is not a thing for girls. You should be learning to make fancy work as fine as your mother's.
Oh, I'll keep working diligently at that, I promise. But if I could just learn the rudiments of music, I would like that so much.
And where did you get the notion that it would be in any way appropriate for you to do that? Is it because I permit you to stay with me and listen to my music after our Sunday lunch? Perhaps I've been too permissive.
I'm sorry, Father. I didn't mean to be impertinent.
Good.
She wasn't allowed to play music or sports growing up, but she was permitted to help work and support her family. Fortunately, her mother was secretly storing away some of her earnings, so that when my nonna wanted to buy a car, say, I don't know what laws were back then, but her mother would give her that money so that she could put it towards it and win her own freedom.
Your Nona sounds like a wonderful woman.
She really is. Hey, did you know that she was engaged 3 times before she met my grandpa? He's of Polish-Ukrainian background, not Italian, like my Nona.
She sounds like a very interesting person.
She really is. I love spending time with her. You know, I think I'm going to buy these pieces as a gift for her. But...
What are you looking at there?
My Nona still loves music. She says she finds it delicious. It's like the forbidden fruit for her. And she doesn't seem to mind some of what her father would play on those Sunday afternoons.
And what would that be?
Oh, like John Lombardo. Do you know Red Roses for a Blue Lady?
I don't think I do.
I want some red roses for a lady. Mr. Florist, take my order, please. We had a silly quarrel just the other day. I hope these pretty flowers chase your blues away. Peace and red roses to a blue lady.
She even liked much livelier music too. Even good old rock and roll.
when Bobby Vinton recorded it in 1963, it went right to #1.
Can you say hum a bit of it for us?
Perhaps I could try to do a little better than that. She wore blue velvet, oh, bluer than velvet was the night, oh, 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 softer than satin was the light from above, and I still can see blue velvet through my tears, velvet, oh, 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 oh. How do you taste, Brent?
Oh, pretty eclectic, really. Some of the favorites in my collection are Janis Joplin's Me and Bobby McGee, and Johnny Cash's version of Green Green Grass.
Was a black afternoon, waiting for a train, feeling the years faded as my jeans. Bobby dumped the diesel down just before the rain took us all the way to New Orleans. Our freedom's just another word for nothing but blues, nothing, and that's all that Bobby left me. Our feeling good was easy, Lord, when he sang the blues. No feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and my body. The old town looks the same as I stepped out from the train, and there to greet me is my mama and my papa. I look down the road and there runs Mary, hair of gold, lips like cherries to touch the green, green grass and mold. Yes, they'll all come to see me, arms are reaching, smiling sweetly. It's good to touch the green, green grass of
But for my grandparents today, this is perfect.
trailer or sailorette, who's the left in these cents? No, oh, no pets. I ain't got no cigarettes on 2 hours pushing through my 8 by 12 man means by no means king of the road.
And now, for your listening pleasure during a brief intermission, during which we hope you will synchronize your snack bar. Please enjoy a selection of songs across East and Kieran by Rob Repose, Suzanne Taylor, and Alan McMaster.
Good job.
You guys can get up and rummage around. If you want to go out to use the bathroom, go straight ahead. We're going to play a couple songs during the break if you want to hang around and enjoy. That's great as well. But make sure you're back in 15 minutes.
15 minutes, and the servery is open on this level. That's where the food's available.
All right, this first song is a song I wrote on Spotify and all the major streaming platforms. It's a song called Hail, and I hope you enjoy it. guys just yell hey-o back, okay? Really easy. One word, hey-o. Are you ready? Let's try it. Ready? Well, you have to wait till I say hey. You jumped your cue. All right, let's try it. Let's sing hey-o. 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 Hey, hey. Not bad. One more time. Let's sing hey-o. 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 Hey, hey-o. Let's let everybody in the hallway hear us now. Hey-o. 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 Hey, hey-o. Just smile and wave and say hey-o. Everybody sing it out. Sing hey-o. 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 Sing hey-o. 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 Sing hey-o. 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 Just smile and wave and say hey-o. All right. Great job, everybody. All right, we're going to give the mic to Suzette here and have her sing a song.
Red roses too, I see them blue for me and you. I think to myself, I see clouds of white, bright blessed day, dark sacred night. I think to myself, what a wonderful the colors of the rain, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more, and I'll never know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Now it's Calendar Festival. What little John Denver? Everybody listen to John Denver. Almost heaven, West Virginia, the ridge of mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is open, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, blowing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather around her. Minus lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Misty taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country road,
country road. I hear a voice in the morning hour, she calls me. Radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving up the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday, country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads take me home. Down country roads take me home. Down country roads.
Oh my goodness, remember these? Bloomers.
It's been a long time since I've seen a pair of those.
A vestige of our school days.
Yeah, but there certainly were a lot better than the awful hurdles that came after.
Oh, I don't know about that. Don't you remember those phys ed bloomers, those blue ones we had to wear for phys ed class?
Yep, and no change for ourselves. No change in the pulcrum.
Yes, and remember we were making a lot of noise one day and that teacher whose classroom door opened onto the cloakroom kept banging on the door and telling us to be quiet.
And then one day he just whammed the door open, came out, told us to be quiet down, and then slammed the door behind him.
And some of us were not even fully changed.
And wasn't it you, Stella, who marched down to that principal, Mr. Crosley's office, to tell him what happened?
So bold of you.
Well, it did the trick. Never happened again.
No, but I remember another horrible bloomer incident that happened when I was a teenager. Now, today, you wouldn't even blush at it. But back then, it happened at the corner store, at the corner of Powell Street and Highway 20. Mr. Kinsman and his wife Maisie ran the store.
I remember that store. They sold everything from shoes, boots, hardware, even caskets.
Precisely. One of my grandmother's actually, my mother sent me there to buy new bloomers and a t-shirt to be worn under the dress that my grandmother would be buried in.
I cannot believe that my own mother expects me to walk into that store and ask for a pair of bloomers. Okay, please let me in here. Oh, God.
Hello, Lenora. What brings you in today?
Good day, Mrs. Bloomers. Is Lady here by any chance?
Oh, I'm sorry. She stepped out for a bit. Hopefully I'll do.
I'm sorry. I can wait if she's coming back.
Don't be silly, dear. What are you looking for today?
Well, I was wondering if maybe you sell a pair of bloomers.
I'm sorry, dear. Could you say that a little louder, please?
Bloomers?
Bloomers! Oh, bloomers. We've got bloomers. Let me check here for a minute. Who's it for?
Oh, it's for my grandmother's burial, of course.
We're sorry to hear. Our condolences. She was such a nice lady. Let me check. Do you think these will fit your grandma?
Yeah, they'll do fine. Thank you.
You're welcome, dear.
Here you go.
Thank you. Oh, now don't leave without your change.
Thank you, Mr. Kingsman.
You're
Have a
welcome.
nice day.
I hope your grandma likes your bloomers.
She's passed.
Oh.
Well, yes, that was a wonderful final errand that you read for your grandmother. Oh, speaking of errands, I have to go down to the floor shop, and I'll meet at a corner.
All right, we'll see you in a few minutes.
Well, I don't suppose we'll be buying these today.
Not lovely. But I would like to buy. A salad saucer.
Oh, Janet and the birds. What brings you by today?
Well, hello, Vanessa. We were wondering if you happen to have a display case for collectibles in your store.
No, I don't have one. You see, collectibles are a niche market. What is it that you are looking to find?
Actually, we have a commemorative coin.
Very precious to us. We don't want to let it too far out of our sight.
However, we hope that the community will be able to learn about the backstory behind this coin. It has quite a story behind it.
You see, it's very deeply rooted in this community. Well, Vern here was born and raised just down the road.
Yes, but I know that my grandfather was born in England, and that really motivated our trip to the UK. We had no idea what family history we would uncover there.
Ooh, deep dark secrets?
Oh, nothing dark and deep at all, but on the contrary.
You see this coin? The tank on this coin, the Lincoln tank. It turns out it was invented by William Ashby Tritton.
Tritton? Isn't that your surname?
Yes, it's my surname. You see, my grandfather came from England as a boy. He was one of two brothers. He came to live in Bismarck, Ontario, while my grandfather's brother stayed back in Lincoln, England. Now, we've had very little news from them over the years. Turns out, William Tritton has put us in the history books.
How did you find this out?
It was a complete fluke.
It was, you see, William, he was a team of engineers who invented the first fighting tank. And that tank helped to break the stalemate of trench warfare and led to the Allied victory in World War I. And we found that out on our
To
trip.
the UK.
You see, we were on a trip with our daughter, Lisa, just doing the whole tourist thing, having a wonderful vacation.
Well, London sounds very exciting, but how would you guys feel about traveling a bit further afield?
Have in mind.
Well, I noticed that there's a Tritton Road and roundabout in Lincoln, and I thought it'd be interesting to see if any of your side of the family was still there. Besides, it's a cathedral city, so there'll be something to do anyhow.
Well, why don't we take one of those bus tours? I've been watching them leave from right over here.
Good day. Are you hoping to join us on a bus tour?
Yes, we are. Do you have any that include Lincoln?
We do. Is there a reason that that district is of particular interest to you?
Well, we are the Trittons, and our daughter here has found out, she has discovered that there is a street in Lincoln called Tritton. Oh, we're just curious to know if there's any connection to our family history.
You're Tritton? Oh my word, I can hardly believe the coincidence. They are going to be so excited. Who is? Why, the people of Lincoln, of course. There's a big unveiling of a monument set to take place there.
Yeah, but what does that have to do with us?
We'll have to get you tickets. Not just for a bus tour or a day trip. No, no. You should count on staying for at least a few days. No doubt you'll be part of the ceremony. Perhaps you'll even be asked to cut the ribbon. Trust me, you must go.
Mom, I'll go upstairs and pack some oatmeal
our tickets and make our travel arrangements.
Well, what an interesting story that turned out to be.
Just suddenly, we were treated like international dignitaries. Oh, to be there on such an occasion, we never imagined.
And we ended up with so many mementos, including this card.
Well, you know, I should set up a display right here in the front of my store. We could display the coin and the stories behind it, and people wouldn't have to actually come in. And it's such a good time with Memorial Day just around the corner.
Yes, that's true. Perhaps you could add that photograph. The young men came back to us. No. One young man was lost. His plane went down. But the others came by and they gathered around. And we liked for the photograph. I remember learning about this when I was a little boy.
Running this shop is so educational. All the stories I hear and about the amazing people who have lived here. Maybe you should come back tomorrow and we'll set it up together.
That's a wonderful idea.
We'll do that, Vanessa. Thank you.
That's a lovely store. Thank you.
Okay, well, it's all for now. You know, with so many people coming through my shop, I feel like I should put in a revolving door. Hello, kids. How can I help you today?
I'm not sure. It's sort of a long shot. Do you happen to have anything about the 99s?
99? Like Wayne Gretzky?
No, but it wouldn't be a surprise to see something related to him here, considering that he's part owner of the Ice Dogs now.
I mean 99s. The International Organization of Women Pilots?
You have to forgive my friend here. She's a little intense when it comes to aviation.
Especially women in aviation. I actually can't believe I'm in the hometown of Dorothy Rundling.
Cassidy just got her wings.
But I'm only a commercial pilot. Dorothy Rundling in the 99s? That's a whole other level.
I can't even imagine flying one of those huge jumbo jets.
Dorothy Rundling didn't just fly big planes. I mean, she had her commercial license, but she was also an air racer.
And one of the Canadian members of the 99s. That's why we were looking for them.
Dorothy lived to be 106 years old. She stopped flying quite a bit before that, but not before she'd broken through a few glass ceilings. She was one of the first women to fly a helicopter solo in Canada. She was also one of the first women to serve on the Pelham Town Council. She also raced motorcycles, trained horses, and published 5 books. How I wish I could have seen her in action.
Oh, wait, that was some fine flying we did out there today, ladies. When we take to the skies, nothing can stop us.
Here's to Dorothy, the most trailblazing of trailblazers.
Dorothy Rundling?
Oh, Cassidy! We've been waiting for you. You see, my friend Cassidy here just popped back from the year 2022.
Wait, what?
You see, I was a fair bit older than you when I got my pilot's license back in 1949. It's hard to believe that was almost 20 years ago.
Hey, Dottie, you know, when you left the restaurant last night, I noticed there was a group of men waiting outside. Looked like a bunch of smart alecks. Did they give you any guff?
Oh, they didn't say a whole lot, but their body language definitely let me know that I had no place flying here. You know the type, the ones that complain about women drivers.
But they didn't bother you, did they?
Oh, Lorna, you know I can take care of myself. You see, the other day, my car wasn't working too well. But I definitely wasn't going to ask one of those fellows for help. So I hopped in, drove ways down the road just so I was out of sight, got out, popped the trunk, and was not surprised to see a few of the wires were mixed up. So I put everything back in place, drove right by the jackass. I mean, smart fellas. A ways away till I was out of sight.
Cassidy, I hope you're not dealing with those kinds of issues in your day.
It's a long, slow process, but we're gaining some ground thanks to one like you.
Dorothy, it's been such an honor to meet you, even if I'm only imagining this. 3 cheers for the 99!
Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray! Hip hip hooray!
And what about you, young man? What's yours today?
You know, there's a bit of a hero of mine in Pelham as well.
For a small town like ours, we certainly have a lot of interesting people that live here.
For sure. Have you heard of Adam Schultz?
Now you input. If you think I'm crazy about flying, just wait until Devin gets started about wilderness adventures.
Adam Schultz is kind of a living legend. He just finished a 4-month expedition from Lake Erie to the Arctic. I mean, I canoe and hike, but I doubt it'd last more than a couple days on the sort of expeditions he goes on.
It's hard to imagine what motivates him.
Not really. I mean, when he writes and talks about what he experiences out there, it seems pretty awesome. And not like awesome as in, hey dude, totally awesome, but awe-inspiring.
Nowhere makes you feel as small and insignificant as wandering across ancient lava flows that were already 1 billion years old before the first dinosaurs ever walked the earth.
Nowhere makes you feel so alive as on a pristine lake, the cold splash of water in your face, and an infinite horizon to be reached with your paddle strokes. Nowhere makes you feel so alive as in an ancient forest, with ancient spruces and tamaracks, birdsong and wolves that look you in the eye. There's a kind of magic to these wild places, a magic that cannot be captured in words. It's a magic that's becoming rare in our fast developing world, which pushes back against the wild a little more, year by year. Even here in Canada. But it's still there. If you trouble yourself to look for it, of course. You don't necessarily have to wander alone for months in the woods to find it. Just look at that great old tree, that field, that bird, that squirrel, and you might just catch a glimpse of it.
I'm really sorry I couldn't have what you wanted here.
It's okay. It gave me an excuse to talk about my favorite subject.
And I didn't really come here intending to buy anything, but I'll take this. It might come in handy for my own adventures in the wild.
Here you go. Thank you. You're welcome.
Excuse me, you carry any fishing gear?
The outdoor gear is over here.
Oh, say, you wouldn't happen to remember something Never mind, you're far too young to know what I'm talking about.
Oh, don't be silly. I can't be more than a few years younger than you.
Okay, have you ever heard of something called pocket fisherman? Came out in the 1970s when I was a kid. It was really super compact. You could fold it up, and it was sold on TV. It had compartments. You could store some extra lures or a couple of singers in it. My brother Jamie let me one year. Let's just say I own one. Jane? Had no ice fishing on the weekend. Alright. Yipper. You know, I was thinking, sure it would be handy to have one of those pocket fishermen.
Oh, too bad you didn't find one when I did, eh, little Robbie?
It sure is.
Hey, you remember how we saw that infomercial for it? And I was like, I wouldn't mind getting one of those. And then you were like, probably just a waste of money. These infomercials are for suckers. And I was like, usually, maybe. But I think I can make a good use of this.
Anyways, I was thinking, maybe I could borrow yours.
That's what you were thinking.
Well, it'll only be for the weekend, I promise. Promise.
Yes, that'll be okay.
Oh, thanks, I appreciate it. Hey, I'll even drop it off after we're done. I'll drop it off on our way home.
No need for that. Just bring it back next week.
Oh, thanks, man. You know what? I'll even catch a couple fish for you, because clearly you're not too good at it yourself.
Hey, me. Uh-oh.
What's up?
Remember a few years back when you were going ice fishing? Yeah, asked to borrow my pocket fisherman.
A few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't ever remember getting it back. You still got it at your place, big man?
Did I not drop that off to you?
No, little Rob. You gave me.
Huh. Alright, well, I know it's somewhere. We'll have a look around for it and I'll drop it off to you.
Perfect. Later this week is fun.
Alright. Only problem is, I have no clue where it was. See, we moved one year and it got lost in the shuffle. And every year he would ask,
"You got my pocket fisherman?"
And I would respond, "I know it's somewhere. It's somewhere. We'll find it." For 20 years he kept asking me, and I kept putting him off.
I hate to tell you, I've never seen anything like that in my store.
No?
Have you tried eBay?
Or maybe Marketplace?
No.
Here, let's have a look. Just give me, it's loading.
The internet's not that good here.
No, it's not. You're in luck. Classic pocket fisherman. You'll just have to decide how much it's worth to you and place a bid.
Oh, wow, that's great. I can finally tell him I found it. Even though it's not technically true, but thanks.
And maybe someday you'll fess up and you'll both laugh about it.
No. Not in your life. But at least I know I can get one, even though it's going to cost me way more than the original. Thanks again. Happy birthday, dear Jamie. Happy birthday to you. I hope it's still in there.
Only took 20 years, eh, Rob?
At least you got it back. Maybe I can teach you how to use it.
Wow, great, man. Well, I'm glad I have it back.
I'm glad to.
Thank you.
You're welcome. See you later. Take care.
I catch more fish than you, by the way.
Oh, you don't.
Hello, Vanessa?
Oh, I'll be right there. Oh, Lynn. Hello.
Hello.
So nice to see a friendly face in my shop. But I have had a great assortment of people coming through my door today. How can I help you?
Well, I was trying to figure out where to get the thing I'm looking for, and then I remembered. Your shop is full of treasures.
And what would that be?
You know, I've always been captivated by the royal family, and I really cherish my set of newspaper clippings and monarch mementos, and I thought, in honor of the Queen's passing, maybe I could find something that would be suitable for her.
You know what? I have just the right thing.
Oh, Vanessa, I don't think I made myself clear. I'm really looking for something that relates to Queen Elizabeth II.
Well, I can see how you're confused, but let me tell you what it does. It belonged to a young lady named Joyce, and she had a very special honor bestowed upon her in a very unexpected way. And I promised her when she brought it in here that I would only sell it to somebody who knows its true value.
Really, Vanessa, I still don't understand how this relates to Queen Elizabeth.
But it does. You see, when she traveled there was the beginning of the Queen's reign. And then after that, she traveled to Switzerland on some girl guide business. And this is an exact replica of where she stayed.
Miss Jones, I need you to place a call to the newspaper to get the send reporters over on the phone. And could you please call Miss Joyce Douglas out of class?
Well, whatever is going on, sir? Oh, Principal McDonald, this is so exciting. Our very own Miss Joyce Douglas.
Now, Miss Jones.
Oh, right. No, the phone first. Yes, hello. This is the normal school calling, and we have got a story for you. Could you please send a reporter over?
Too sweet. Could you please have Miss Douglas join in the hallway?
Very important business.
What is it, Miss Jones? Is everything okay?
Everything is more than okay. Joyce, as one of 90,000 Canadian Girl Guides, you alone have been chosen to go to the coronation at Westminster Abbey. You're going to represent all of the British Commonwealth Girl Guide movement and get to witness Her Royal Highness Princess Elizabeth, Her Majesty the Queen.
I can hardly believe it.
Well, must hurry. You're to be interviewed, so we must hurry.
Princess Elizabeth is a guide herself, so that's why 2 of us from across the Commonwealth have been granted seats at the ceremony. So I'm going to Europe. I'm going to the coronation. I wonder where I'll stay.
Vanessa, am I to gather that Joyce stayed at the palace and was presented this from Queen Elizabeth II?
Oh, no. It is a replica, as I said before, of the place that she stayed at when she went to Switzerland after the coronation. But, and listen, it even plays the Girl Guide song.
Oh, Vanessa, I shall cherish this music box, and especially because I was a Girl Guide myself, and I remember that exciting announcement when we heard that Joyce and another girl from Scotland were going to represent the Girl Guides at the coronation.
Yes, it was a souvenir from when the Queen first started her reign, now that she's passed. But if you want something else, if you don't want this, I do have this cup. It commemorates her silver jubilee.
Actually, no, I will stick with the music box. But then again, I'll take the cup too.
Good, yes. All right, we'll see you. Bye. Hello, sir. Is there anything I can help you find?
Just looking around for now.
If there's a certain thing I can locate for you, my shop is full of eye-catching wonders. but I do keep it well organized.
You're very persistent, ma'am. I appreciate that, but I'm still just looking. Where did you get this hat?
Well, you know, it's been here for a very long time, and nobody's even tried it on. It is a very nice hat, you know.
It is. Reminds me of a special hat I was about to punch you. I'm waiting.
Is everything alright, man? I've been staring at space for the past 20 minutes now. You see something you like out there? Hello? Broken up.
Thinking.
Must be some pretty important thoughts you've been unable to blink for a little while now.
What if I can't do it? What if I can't accomplish my dreams and just do what I want?
Well, if you keep talking like that, then of course you're not going to accomplish your dreams.
What? If you have dreams or aspirations for the future,
You shouldn't be worried about all the ways they may not come true. You should be working towards those goals.
so what should I do? Believe. Believe that you can and will make an impact on the world and live the life you want to live. The only person who can decide your destiny is you. What if I fail? Well, try and try again. As many times as it takes you to finally reach your goal. Wouldn't failing over and over just prove I'm not good enough?
A wise man once told me, a man should not be judged by how many times he's fallen to his knees, but instead, he should be judged by how many times he gets up. Take this as a memento of this moment.
We had the same goal in life, he and I. The same goal that, without his advice, I never would have achieved.
And what was it that you and he were trying to achieve?
That's a big story for another day, man. How much for that?
Oh, with a story like that, it's yours. You can have it.
You're very kind, man. Thank you.
Now, wait, don't forget the one you came in with. Nobody can have too many hats.
True.
Oh, just look who it is. Shirley. How are you?
Oh, I can't complain. Well, actually, I suppose I can complain. Suffice it to say, getting old is not for me. But, I'm here with my daughter Tracy. I don't believe you've ever met her.
Nice to meet you. It's taken a while to organize, but Mom really wants to donate Dad's old golf clubs to your store. They're over 100 years old and manufactured in 1921.
And I suppose I could get a pretty penny for them somewhere, but I'd much rather they stay right here, where the story behind them means something.
My dad was an avid golfer, and it wasn't just a pastime for him.
No. When I got golf was not just a game. It was an analogy for life. He lived his life by sports rules. You know, his favorite saying was, "Hit it, Alice." That came from the dig against Peter Alice after his dismal shot at the Ryder Cup, way back in 1963. But when Tom said, even he was tired of waiting for you to set up your stance, get yourself all positioned. In other words, stand up, aim for what you want, go for it. Follow it. Pursue it to the end.
My husband learned a lot playing with him.
Another mulligan. It's okay, sir. Never let a bad golf shot ruin a good walk.
I just feel bad for you. Always waiting for me to take my do-overs.
A little better.
As you know, I don't belong to any one country club. What I like to do is enjoy around the golf with different people on different golf courses. Now it's my turn.
Tough course, heading back.
So,
I take that. That was a beauty of a ride.
see, never let the past determine the present.
Dad played a lot of sports. Not just golf. He played hockey, and he was his team pitcher for his team baseball, Inco International Nickel in Port Colborne.
And then he was for stirring her. You know, he always made it clear that he loved Peter and he respected him too. We challenged each other all the time. And I like to think we made one another better, stronger people.
Trudy, I'm so sorry for your loss. But I will promise you something. I will not sell these precious cups to the first person who comes those stairs. I will sell it to someone who will appreciate its value, and I'll make sure that they know Don's philosophy of life as well.
Thank you so much. I knew that it was the right decision to bring them right here.
Oh, yes.
It was a pleasure meeting you.
And you as well. Bye now. And just like that, another day has ended in my little shop. You know, life is strange. I never would have thought 5 years ago, when my beloved Theodore passed away, and my daughter and son-in-law invited me to live here in Pelham with them, that all my boxes of valuables would become an issue. And then one day, my daughter came up to me and said, "Mom, if you don't get rid of some of this stuff, we're going to have to build another room onto the house." So as luck would have it, I was walking past this building, and it was for rent. And I thought to myself, what a perfect place to display my valuables. And I soon found out that other people needed a place to display theirs as well. You know, this is my hope, that one day, you might walk past my shop, spot something in the window, or even come inside, pick something up that will make you think, I remember when.
this would have happened without the vision of one certain person. The writer, the producer, the director, but most of all, the glue that kept us together. Miss Pauline Kenyon.